Their looks and the location of their stall, they usually draw a prime spot across from us on Pike Place, the market's long cobbled main street, guarantee plenty of attention. That their fruit is the freshest and their jams the tastiest doesn't hurt. Our tea is the essential fragrance of the market year-round, I said, pointing my pen at the ornate brass electric teapot that resembles a Russian samovar. We just resumed serving the hot black Assam tea spiced with cardamom, allspice, and orange, although the iced tea dispenser would stay out a few more days. That and fresh fish. Zach had recovered from his embarrassment. The fish merchants near the market's main entrance put on a comedy routine to rival the Marx Brothers, tossing whole coho salmon like softballs, teasing customers and welcoming both locals and wide-eyed tourists to the heart and stomach of Seattle. Zach filled his mug, emblazoned with a Z, and snatched a hazelnut cookie from the box. It wouldn't be a staff meeting without treats from the French bakery. We need 3 or 4 new blends, I said, for our home cooks. Zach zeroed in on the harvest aspect of fall, but I'd like something to rub on those fish, or a slow-cooked chuck roast, to warm up the salty mist and stave off the chills until we get into the familiar tastes of Christmas. My staff turned thoughtful, summoning their own ideas of fall. They say the sense of smell is the most intimately linked of all our senses to memory, and I believe it. One whiff of a familiar scent, even when we haven't encountered it in years, can transport us to a time and place long forgotten, even before we consciously recall the memory. Our task was to find common elements and translate them into balanced blends of herbs and spices to evoke a positive sensory experience for our customers. The Wednesday morning staff meeting is one of the few times we're all in the shop together. Such a satisfying sight. Actually, we were 1 person short. I checked the clock, a large copper-rimmed metal ticker next to the front door. As if on cue, the door opened and a blonde cloud swept in. Right on time for the 8:17 meeting, I said with a grin. Kristen Gardner and I have been best friends since childhood, when our family shared a creaky, turn-of-the-century house on Capitol Hill. She still lives in the house, a classic Seattle box built by an ancestor, although now it glows with an attic-to-cellar makeover that would color any decorator in the Emerald City green. She helps out in the shop a few mornings a week, and she is never, ever on time. I'm so sorry, Pepper. One of the girls forgot her lunch, and I had to... I held up a hand. You're fine. We're brainstorming fall blends. Something pungent and flavorful. Reed spoke without glancing up from his task of running a rubber stamp of the shop name over small white paper cups. Shoppers who drop in for a sample of tea often end up buying herbs, spices, or other goodies they'd forgotten they needed. Or that they didn't need, but the fragrance and possibility set their taste buds and imaginations awhirl. It's so neat how you can trace geography and history through spices, he continued. When I open a jar of chili pepper cocoa, I'm in the world of the Aztecs. Ask me for a curry, and I'm halfway to India. Maybe 5'6", an inch shorter than me, slight with shaggy black hair and hooded eyes. Reed Locke is a history major at Seattle University. Wednesdays he comes in early before dashing off to classes. His father runs an acupuncture clinic nearby, so he practically grew up in the market. We all turned to the world map on the wall, where colored pins mark the origin of every spice we carry. Many spices have migrated and become integral to cuisines and economies far from their genesis. The map also hides an ugly water stain on the plaster that paint didn't cover. Spice has added flavor to the market since shortly after its founding in 1907, when our main competitor opened a shop, still prospering. In the fervor surrounding the campaign to save the market from redevelopment in the early 1970s, hippie chick Jan Rasmussen